Simon, what did you take out of that one? I'm sure it wasn't what you expected coming into it.
Yeah, not much at all, really. Obviously, that's about as performance as you can get, and it's one we certainly won't tolerate. There's inconsistencies in our game that, and that trend's been there for a little while now, and we understand there's elements within our method that aren't right. But the inconsistencies, not only from week to week, are concerning, and we'll look into the why, because that performance is clearly completely unacceptable in where we want to be as a team, and I know our supporters want more.
Was there one area in particular when you down today? I know that Freo midfield were outstanding. Was that where the issues started?
Yeah, there was probably some issues in terms of our execution early in the game. We got off to a pretty good start, and then we turned the ball over in the back half of the ground at an extraordinary high rate, and that put us under enormous pressure. And then it flowed onto more issues. We started to lose around contest and clearance, and we got obliterated in every phase, to be honest. But it just flowed as the game unfolded, and clearly our contest was poor, our work rate was poor, our ability to deal with pressure was poor. So they're all things we've got to work on, and you put that together with our ball use, and it's just nowhere near the level that it needs to be, and you get the performance that you get against and you've got to give Freo credit. They played a really impressive, intense game with high pressure and executed with the ball incredibly well, so credit to them.
I believe it was in the back line. Was the way that ball was coming in would have been hard for anyone?
This game had nothing to do with personnel. We really need to dig into the why of the inconsistencies in our group. And that's coaches, that's everyone. We own that together, but we will dig because we need to find a way to get through it. We can't have 2 games in the last 3 and play to the level that we have in things that we value incredibly highly. Like, we value contest, and we got obliterated by 40 today. We value territory. We had 35 entries. So there's method, there's intent, there's role execution. We'll dig into the why, but we need to fix our inconsistencies.
You said you might have been a little bit off at the start of the game. Looking back in hindsight now, is there anything that...
No, look, we were wrapped, in terms of the way we played last week. We were happy with the way we trained and prepared for the game. And that's sort of been a bit of a hallmark of where we've been at. We've played some really good footy, some outstanding footy, and some really strong footy, and we've mixed it with some really poor performances, and that's what the trend is at the moment. But we need to be a team that irons out those. To be the team that you want to become, you've got to be consistent in every phase of the game, more often than not. So, we'll certainly dig into the why, and we need to bridge that gap really quickly.
You thought your prep was fine coming up yesterday?
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, it's been the same prep for 9 years, so should be all right.
How do you dig into the why? Do you put on the players to come back to you with answers for the next couple of days, or are you going to do the deep dive and tell them what's wrong?
It'll be a collaborative approach. Players, coaches, everyone come up with the why, train it, work on it, get better, and that's what we do. But there'll be we're a proud team, and that performance will certainly hurt us internally. But footy doesn't allow you to be hurt for too long. You got to hurt, and you got to respond. So we'll go after what we need to next week, but in the background we'll keep looking at how we become better at what we do, because at the moment it's nowhere near the level it needs to be.
Does a margin like that allow you to go harder than what you would have normally?
Inconsistencies do, for sure. And that's what it was. The game today's the game. It's incredibly disappointing and unacceptable in the way we want to play. But we'll certainly look at what's possible as well. We don't sit here and, as I said, the competition doesn't allow you to sit here and wallow. You got to make sure you get up, get organised, work out what's wrong, and build solutions and go after it. And that's what we'll be doing as coaches and players.
You said that inconsistencies had sort of been creeping in the last couple of weeks. Has this almost just exposed everything? You go, right, this is where we sit? Is a wake-up call?
I think it's a bit longer than that, to be fair. It's something our year's been up and down a little bit as we've gone through the year so far. So where we want to go, we need to start building that consistency in how we play, consistency in being able to win the contest, consistency being able to win territory. So you need to be good at all phases to be able to do that, and that's our challenge as coaches and players in a club, that we look in that direction and we go after it, and we look forward to next week.
also a sign that the comp is so even as well. You only need to be a little bit off, you can get exposed by most sides.
Yeah, look, you know, I think we've said this a lot, but the comp is incredibly tight. So, you know, from week to week can be a different challenge all the time. But, you know, to start to separate yourself to where you want to go, you've got to be more consistent and win more games consistently. So that's the challenge for every team, and we're no different. But the ups and downs and the quality of our performance is what we're talking about.
Lucky Hunter, any idea on the extent yet? Big tightness? Or?
Yeah, just a tight calf at this stage. So we'll have a look at that, get that scanned, and you know we'll report back when we get all the details. I think outside of that, I think we're pretty clear.
Does coming here now, you lose to GWS in really weird conditions last year, you lose to Fremantle today, obviously the difference was wasn't going to be any different play anywhere you play. But today, and when you come here now, is it no longer an advantage for this team from an on-field perspective when you had played in Melbourne? Probably would have given you more of an advantage.
Yeah, look, we embrace coming up here. That's us as a footy club. You know, we've done it for 9 years now. We've spent a lot of time in the community. It's the same game for both teams. The fact that we haven't won the last 2 years shouldn't impact our decision making. You know, we've spent a lot of time up here, and it's the same for both teams when they come up to play. You know, we lost a tight game last year and played pretty well this year. We played nowhere near the level. So we'll continue to embrace the Northern Territory and try and make it a home that's really good for us.
Would this so be the most disappointed that you've been so far this year after a result?
Oh, look, you know, I don't like to categorise them, but when you lose by the margin we lost by, that's unacceptable as a footy club. And that certainly hasn't happened a lot in my time in being here. And we have a proud group of leaders that'll be looking to respond pretty fiercely. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.